Hi, I'm Linda Pilon, and I've just written a book called We May Not Be Crazy, but Sometimes I Wonder, Embracing Life's Journey with Humor, Wisdom, and Adventure. When you get to an age like me, as a senior, you notice that sometimes anything you want to decide to do or that's just a little bit out of the range of what your middle-aged kids consider old people should do, those things are frowned upon. Things that you might consider fun, creative, or adventurous are often met with strong disapproval. Well, gone are the days when grandmas sat on the veranda and sat in their rocking chairs and watched the world go by. Today's seniors are a totally different breed. So when my kids jokingly, or maybe not, say things like, "Mom's off her rocker," I totally agree with them. I am certainly not sitting in that rocking chair. Let me explain. So the story I'm going to read to you is called, Is Mom Ready for the Home? Do you have a bucket list? It's possible that many individuals under the age of 55 might not be familiar with this concept. The other day, as I sat gazing out the kitchen window, lost in thought, it hit me. Time was slipping by, and perhaps creating a bucket list for myself should be a priority. Oh, sure, in the past, I've jotted down tasks and goals, but they were mostly mundane to-do lists, lacking the excitement and daring adventures that a bucket list should encompass. How boring. Well, time to change that. While I searched for a pen and paper, it occurred to me that brilliant ideas might flow a bit more freely and easily if I had a glass of Merlot. So after pouring myself a generous glass, I eagerly sat down to draft my agenda. What will I put on my list? I thought. What do I still want to accomplish in this lifetime? After much thought and a great deal of wine, I came to the conclusion that my bucket would not only overflow with fun events, but more importantly, at least once a year, there would be an activity that wasn't appropriate for a senior my age to consider. This was the agenda. The ideas poured quickly onto the paper. I proudly showed the Linda list to my kids, who immediately vetoed most of the events and ambitions I had outlined. Mom, a hot air balloon ride? For God's sakes, you're afraid of heights. An African lion safari? Do you want to be eaten alive by lions or insects? Take your pick. Mom, zip lining? Are you crazy? In their eyes, I was simply hastening my trip to the home. But what do kids know? I was in my 70s, so it was definitely high time that I started checking off a few items. Now, women my age were raised during a modest time when only the daring wore bikinis. So it was quite bold of me to even consider this venture, getting a bikini wax. I must confess, I have never owned a bikini, nor do I have any intentions of making this purchase in the near future. But what the hell? It was time to cut loose. Live a little, face new challenges. I had been a client of Amanda's spa for many years, so I had complete confidence in her ability to provide this service. Upon entering her establishment, I immediately sensed a wave of tranquility washing over me. The subtle, gentle lighting, the soft background music, and the assurance of complete privacy had the power to soothe even the most hesitant of souls. Clad in nothing more than a G-string, I took my place on the waxing table, a testament to the boldness of my resolve. As Amanda mixed the wax for this undertaking, I detected a slight mischievous grin on her face. Linda, she asked, may I discuss your waxing experience with the students in my class next week? Permission was naively granted. I felt relaxed. Ignorance, they say, is bliss, and I embraced it wholeheartedly. I stared at the ceiling as Amanda applied the very warm wax using a popsicle stick. I will never quite look at a popsicle the same way again. She then fanned the area so the wax would harden. I will only do a small area at a time, she said, and that way it won't hurt. The wax hardened. She ripped off the wax. Now, imagine a fat frog with his eyes bulging out because someone had stepped on his back. You've just pictured me. After I climbed back down from the ceiling, I realized there were still a few more areas to go. Plus, there was the other side of this story. But I was prepared now. With eyes squeezed shut, I was as rigid as a board. The job was finally completed. Now, said Amanda, heat will open up the pores and irritation might occur. So for the next 24 hours, don't do anything that will cause heat or friction, like wearing tight undergarments, exercising, or sex. Honest to God, she said that. What sacrifices one had to make. But the experience was worth it. Been there, done that, don't ever want to do it again. Leaving Amanda's spa, a rush of exhilaration surged through me. I had dared to take a leap, embracing an experience my children would never have anticipated nor approved of. I realized there are moments when veering from your children's counsel means not only becomes enticing, but sometimes it's just plain essential. Maybe ziplining, going on a wildlife safari, or perhaps a serene balloon ride was in my future. The choices remained tantalizingly uncertain, but one thing was sure. My appetite for adventure had been whetted, and I was ready for the next adrenaline-charged challenge. Footnote. I couldn't wait to tell Tam and Steve that maybe now I should buy a bikini since my body was prepared for this occasion. I didn't know that they could shudder that violently.